It's episode 550, and this week we're talking rising prices, disappearing discs, the upcoming Fire Emblem Direct, and my latest quest to catch 'em all, one Pokémon card at a time. Let's press start.
Get ready for the Girls on Games podcast, your weekly dose of news, reviews, and everything video games. Always served with a good helping of hype and just a pinch of salt. And now, your host, Leah.
Hello and welcome to another Girls on Games podcast. My name is Leah. I'm the host of this show. This is episode number 550. Oh,
goddamn.
Oh, boy. And joining me around this digital table is Catherine. Hey, Kat, how you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm excellent, thanks. We're continuing to wish Joelle well, and along with Ryan as well, as he is on the mend. But yeah, two-woman band here today. Let's get through some housekeeping. If you enjoy this show, you can subscribe. We're available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Podbean. If you'd like to give us a tip, maybe buy us a coffee, you can do that by going to our Ko-fi. That's ko-fi.com/girlsongames. Kat, we are in the dog days of summer right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as we cross from July into August. And this is always a memorable weekend. My team are off at Osheaga, so they're in Montreal. I am not. Was very jealous to hear that Angers de Poitrine ended up playing a set.
Apparently, yeah.
Were
Were they a last-minute addition?
That they were.
Wow.
So I texted my crew right away. I was like, if you get a chance, go experience this. So, yeah.
Apparently, they're really worth it live.
Oh my God. It looks unbelievable. What were you up to this week? Anything fun?
Yeah. A lot, actually. So, as of today was my first day of my 2-week vacation. So,
whoop, whoop, vacation.
Yeah, but this weekend, I was quite busy. So, at work, I have a new coworker.
Oh.
She's from Seattle.
Nice.
And she popped into our Women of For Honor group chat and was like, do y'all know like about any like groups or you know, subreddits or Discord channel or whatever to like make friends when you get into a new city? And then another colleague of ours was like, yeah, we just started this Discord for women and non-binary people in Montreal. And she put in an invite. So both my colleague and I joined. And they were hosting a dessert picnic on Saturday.
Ooh.
The weather was in and out. So a lot of people...
Yeah, I've heard the weather this weekend. Like yesterday it rained. And then it was such a go on Saturday.
Exactly. It was actually very humid on Saturday. So I baked some cupcakes. I haven't baked in a long time, but I nailed them. My plan was basic ass vanilla cupcake with the buttercream frosting. But my sister-in-law had made her yearly batch of jams. And some I froze because she makes the uncooked jams where the sugar kind of just cooks the fruit. So what you don't eat, you have to freeze, essentially. So because it's not stabilized, but it's very good and it tastes more like the fruit.
Okay.
So I had the strawberry one open in my fridge. So I did little dollops of strawberry jam. And then I went
like little strawberry shortcakes.
Yes. It tasted like a little strawberry shortcake. It was very good. And my sister-in-law, because she has like 4 kids, and loves to bake, they're away right now. So I went downstairs in the kitchen and I scrummaged to find like a kit to do the icing piping.
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything. I didn't even have like the little cupcake tins.
Okay.
Like,
the
papers,
paper things? Yeah, the
paper
sleeves
cups
that they go in? Yeah.
Yeah, because usually when I make muffins or whatever, I don't do the sleeves because I have like a non-stick muffin pan. But I figured like for something where people share and they might want to take one to go, like I didn't want to not have the sleeves.
Yeah.
So I helped myself to a few things, but they came out great. And then I went over there. I met two new ladies, and then my colleague was also there.
Yeah.
And we had cookies, we had lemon tart, we had some Black Forest cake, and we had my cupcakes. It was amazing. But yeah, the weather was very humid. But it was nice to hang out by. I hadn't been there in ages. It was by Beaver Lake in the Mount Royal Park.
Nice.
So I, just Googled, how do I get there? And, maps just gave me whatever. Take this metro line, go there, get off, take a bus. So I took the bus on Côte des Neiges. And it was funny because the stop was like, you got to get off at the boulevard. I was telling that to my colleague and she was like, oh, which boulevard? I'm like, no, it's called the boulevard. Like on the City of Montreal road sign, it will say THEBOULEVARD. Like it's the boulevard, the boulevard. I didn't know that street existed. And I was like, cool. And then I follow the directions. I cross the street and then there's just like a wall of stone. And I'm just like, how do I get there? And then I find staircases. And I'm like, I'm going to have to climb up half this mountain, aren't I? Anyway, those desserts were worth it. After
you worked them off.
After like getting that a bit of like cardio there to get up there, to get near the Beaver Lake Pavilion there. But yeah, it was nice. And then yesterday was just the rainiest of rainy days.
Yeah.
Yesterday and today. So texted Uva and she was like, man, what a shitty day. I'm like, yeah, I got errands to run. So you want to head to Alexis Nihon, which is a mall near where she is.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to hit Winners and Canadian Tire. And
yeah.
she was like, yeah, she just got a new phone through work. And she's like, I need to buy a case. I'm like, yeah, we'll find one of those booths with a man or a lady selling cases for $20, The drop shit Amazon shit, but IRL.
Yes.
So we put her around the mall. I did not find everything I needed or wanted. She found her case at the very least. But you know how Winners is. I came out with underwear because their underwear is always so much cheaper. She found Clark's sandals.
Oh, nice.
For
they're
$30.
Pretty comfy. Yeah, they're usually pretty comfortable.
Yeah, and when we Googled the model,
yeah,
they're currently on sale online for $60. She got them for $30.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Topping deal.
Yeah. Winners take some patience, but you can find some good stuff. And then we popped into Canadian Tire, and of course I bought shit I didn't need because Canadian Tire always does that to me. We bought mugs that we found cute.
Nice.
And then, I was in there because I needed forks. I keep losing all my forks.
What is it with forks always disappearing? I said that to Mike today too. I'm like, I feel like we had full kits of forks, and now I think there are like 3 from one set and 1 from another set, and I'm like, what? Who's eating the forks along with their meal? Like, this makes no sense.
So, I bought like weird forks, and I'm like, all right, these are the forks that I'm going to bring to work, and if I lose them, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I almost bought a brand new set just to not have like a mismatched set, but I was like, at this point, it doesn't matter. I'm not hosting like 10 people for dinner all the
forks.
time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, just put her around the mall, and then we went to Green Spot. If you know, you know.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Greasy spoon. It's one of the best greasy spoons in Montreal.
Yep. There's a reason why there's a lineup on Sundays.
Yep. So we showed up at like 4, like 4:30, and the place was bumping.
Oh yeah. It's always going. Yeah. Diner.
Exactly.
Oh my God. I showed the picture to Michael and he was like drooling.
Yeah, that poutine. That's legit like Greasy Spot poutine. Like it's not bougie poutine like La Banquise or Poutine Bill or whatever, where people debate what's the best poutine. I'm like, the best poutine comes from a place that hasn't updated their look or their decor since 1970 something. The signs are usually the default like Coke or Pepsi signs.
Yeah.
And the name is something it's either Chez, insert random Quebecer name.
Yeah.
Like near Ubisoft, there's Chez Claudette. That place legit. Or it's just a place that has a random name like the Green Spot. Why is it called the Green Spot? Because the sign is green.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it became an institution, and like you sit down at your booth and you still have the fucking like little jukeboxes.
The little music machines where you put in a quarter or $1 or whatever, you press the button and it gives you
they have a
song from like 1980.
That shit hasn't been updated since 1990.
No,
whatever.
You see some gems in there.
There was some Celine Dion, and it was all pre-Titanic.
Really? Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
We couldn't turn it. It was like it needed some W40. I don't know if it actually worked.
They probably don't work anymore. Yeah.
They're probably clogged from all the grease in the end.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
You had a pretty packed weekend then.
I hit my step goals on both
Good for
days.
Good for you.
So today was a bit of a stay-in day, did some laundry and whatever. So I did not hit my step goal, but that doesn't matter because after last night, my feet hurt.
Yeah.
I came home and I was like, my feet, they haven't hurt this bad since like I went on my trip to Amsterdam and we were walking like from 9 to 9, you know?
Yeah.
Just something about just going everywhere and standing up in the kitchen, like baking and then cleaning and doing the dishes and then packing and then going and coming back. And then Sunday was like, just leave and go by transit. And of course, I'm doing all of this by transit.
Yeah.
You know how I am. So we walked around a lot, and today was good to be off my feet a bit.
Good stuff. Yeah. Mike and I did a little bit of an adventure yesterday. Where Mike works and his schedule is usually Tuesday to Saturday. It's nice to have a long weekend because he always has Monday off because that's his off day. That's like his Sunday. And then for me to have a spare day. So like we try to cram in a lot of stuff when we can when we have just Sundays. We have a Sunday and a Monday. It's kind of glorious. So as many of you know, I've been talking about the fact that Mike has gotten into the Pokemon TCG lately, a physical one. He plays a little bit of the pocket game as well, but physical. And he's been buying ETBs and ripping packs and doing all that kind of stuff. And he introduced me to a YouTuber named Deep Pocket Monster.
Okay.
This gentleman has made me feel so good about the world.
Really?
In that I'm so happy there are still genuine people out there that are nice. So he got into Pokemon when his kids were a bit younger. And then he kind of continued moving forward with it. His kids are like, early teens right now. I watched the first video that was literally like 2.5 hours long. So a lot of his videos are 2.5 hours long. He also has a shorts channel that he does called Short Pocket Monsters. And he does this thing called Should I Open It or Should I Keep It Sealed? It has a jingle, and it's usually like he just rips it and in the pack or whatever opens the thing, and then at the end it has like a thing saying, wow, you got something good, or should I kept it sealed? And there's a jingle and everything, and I'm just like, oh, it's amazing. But anyways, Mike introduced me to this gentleman, Pat, because when we were watching this first video, he does these challenges where he tries to, in a certain amount of time, complete full sets or do a certain challenge where he's trying to find every single Pokemon, like all 1,000, 100, whatever it is, have one card from all of them, whatever. And he has like a set amount of time that he has to do it again and it usually is tied around like a convention or something that he's at, that kind of thing. And he vlogs the entire thing. This one was interesting because he has built this fan base. He's got like 2 million subscribers on YouTube. His videos get an obscene amount, like 11 million views, like all this kind of stuff. One of his fans reached out and said, look, I've been collecting nothing but Umbreons. I'm trying to master set Umbreon, or I did, or was trying to get close, but I feel like I need to stop. He was like, only things he had left to get were like these really high-end expensive ones, things like that. And he was just like, he was like, I think it might be time to move on, like all that kind of thing. And he's been a fan for a while. His kids watch the show, like Pat shows and all this kind of stuff. So he reached out to Pat, aka Deep Pocket Monster, and said, I want to sell you my collection. And Pat's like, okay, well, let's meet up. So he filmed himself meeting up, and he opens up this already like purple binder because Umbreon. And inside, there's this type of aesthetic that you can do with creating Pokemon binders called mochi style. Anyways, people print out stuff and do like aesthetically pleasing pages, almost like collages along with the cards and stuff.
Like a scrapbook almost?
Kind
or
of,
the journaling girlies do?
Pretty much. So he gets this binder and he opens it up, and the first slide is like this beautiful, like the first page is like printouts of just this amazing pixelated art style of like Umbreon. And as he's flipping through, you can see he's done this where he's taken like the biggest cards and also put in markers where there's cards that he's trying to get and everything. And it's this gorgeous thing, right? And he wanted like $6,000 for it. So they had their meal, they talked about it and whatever. Pat asked him how he got into it. And he was like, yeah, and I don't know. And he's like, are you sure you want to sell it to me? He's like, yeah, I'm sure. It's time. So anyways, Pat exchanges the money, goes away, sits in his Uber ride back, and he's like, this feels weird. This doesn't feel like my collection. I feel very uneasy about this. And then it dawned on him. He's like, I'm going to complete this, and I'm going to give it back to him and surprise him with it. So the entire video is essentially watching him attempt to find the remaining cards that he didn't have, and discovers ones that he didn't even have marked off, and then goes through the process, and then, adds more into the book, and then surprises him with it afterwards. You get to see the guy's reaction and everything, because he does this thing called Card Party. It's like a convention. He's having one in Dallas later in the year, this year. And he was there essentially like pretending to scout out and stuff of the event, and then met up with the guy again and then gave him the whole book back with all the extra. And these are expensive cards. Like we're talking like he spent $6,000 on the set itself and then put more into it and then gave it back to Buddy. Like,
wow.
Yeah, it was nuts. So I went down a rabbit hole after that and started watching a ton of his other stuff. And Catherine decided to whack her microphone off.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Clearly the hinges were loose.
Yeah. So he goes, I'm watching all these videos and I'm like, damn, I've always wanted to, like, in playing the games, I always wanted to make a team that was nothing but dogs, nothing but canines.
Yeah.
So I've decided I'm started collecting. Mike is doing his own thing. He's also trying to do a base set of mega evolutions, and he's got a fair number of them now. Like, he's almost done everything in the kind of like normals and that kind of stuff. He's in the like illustration rares and everything. He's got to complete now. But I've decided I'm going to start my own. I'm calling it the Pokemon Canine Field Guide, and I'm essentially collecting nothing but dog Pokemon. So Boltund, Stoutland, Houndour, Arcanine. So, and Boltund looks so much like Gibson, and Zygarde 10% is the dog form and looks so much like Bowie. So I've gone down a rabbit hole now, and yesterday we decided to go Pokemon card hunting because Mike knows what he needs to complete his set, and I know what I'm looking for, and I'm starting from scratch. Right?
Are you gonna do like the scrapbook?
I'll show
girly?
you. Yeah. So that is my intention, but first I need cards, right? So we went to 3 different stores. We went to 401 Games. We went to another one called Cardboard Collectibles, and then there was one called Miltank or something, or Mintank. Anyways. First off, oh my God, these stores are huge, and they were all bopping yesterday. Like, so many people in there playing, trading, all this kinds of stuff. And they have so many cards. Like, obviously you get the packs that you can rip, but they have binders of bulk. And then you can also like look through on the stuff they have in the cabinets and all these kinds of things. So Mike and I were having a field day. Just looking at cards, and I was just picking up things that I thought that looked cool, things that were dogs and whatever. So we did that, and we had a lot of fun with it. And then I went and ordered some more too of particular cards because I don't need to rip for these. I know exactly what I'm looking for. So I've started my binder.
Nice.
And Kat, I want to show you my favorite one that I've gotten so far.
All right, let me make sure you're full screen. Let's go.
Yeah, it is, because Bolton is kind of my big one that I'm starting with. Oh, I'm going to pull it out so I can show it to you because it's in the And I've got more coming, but this is kind of where I'm starting right now. See that one on the
Oh,
top?
wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, Bolton's really cute. So I've got a Bolton V, and it's an illustration rare, and it has a trainer on it. And it's the most expensive one that I picked out yesterday. It was $24. But yeah. How cute
Gorgeous.
is that? How cute is that? And I bought, like, there are shiny ones. There are, like, also, I'm planning on getting, like, all the different languages it was printed in, if I can find it. So Japanese, Chinese, whatever I can find. So, yeah, like, look, even, like, they have shiny ones, Kat.
Oh,
so,
adorable.
yeah, I've got Bolton. I've got Yamper ones, because that's the one before.
Oh, on the
cute?
bed.
Yeah, Yamper is a corgi. Yeah, so I've only got bits and pieces in here now, but essentially I'm just filling up different ones that I have that I've picked out. And it's a lot of fun to just go and look through the cards and see all the pretty art and have like a mission. So yeah, oh my God, it's so goddamn addicting. Like, it's bad.
It explains why this dude was like, maybe I have a problem. Maybe I need to stop.
Yeah. But like, the thing is it's like everything that this guy does, the Deep Pocket Monsters, it's also motivational, and he gets like the community jumps in, and there's like kids at these events that are like trying to help him like fill it up. Plus he's meeting fans and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, wow, like it seems like I'm so used to seeing like the toxicity in the world and the garbage and the whatnot and being online and people being just dicks, and just to find this like group of vloggers, YouTubers that are into this and that are so nice about it and like genuinely good with the community. And I'm just like, yay, there's hope for us yet.
Because we were talking last week about like face recognition in Japan because people cannot control themselves because of these fucking cards.
Yeah, it's
nice to hear something where people are normal about it.
Yeah, it's and also too, like the content is so well edited and it's fun, it's energetic. It's like I said, like some of them are like 2 to 3 hours long. They're feature length films, some of these. It's just like to put that much effort into it. And also, holy fuck, the money spent. It's just crazy. But I mean, if you're doing a feature length film in Pokemon cards, and you're doing it, and then you've got like a channel where you're also ripping them and earning money that way, and 11 million people are watching a video, I think it kind of works out business-wise in the end. Yeah. So yeah, highly recommend Deep Pocket Monsters if you're looking for something, if you're into the TCG, even if you're just curious about it and you just want to see why people like it and how different people collect. Because I always thought that like, oh, I got to make a deck. And I'm like, I don't know anything about doing that. I just want to look at the pretty pictures. Well, this is a way for me to look at the pretty pictures all the time.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now that we've been gabbing for 22 minutes, let's get into Fantasy Critic. And you know what? We actually got a race happening over in the podcast league. Joelle is still leading with 107.6 points, but Kat, you're closing that gap down to 1.1 point. You're sitting with 106.5 points right now. The reason was Halo Campaign Evolved. That scored an 81.7 and gave you 11.7 points. So after weeks of Joelle sitting comfortably in first, Kat, it's essentially one decent review adjustment and you might take the lead.
Wow. All the way up until GTA 6.
Right. We'll wait. We'll see what comes of that. But you weren't done there this week. You also picked up Gears of War E-Day and Silent Hill Townfall for $5 a pop. Plus, you counterpicked One Piece Grand Gourmet for $1, Bob.
$1.
Thanks. That
Am
was
I full
rude.
now?
It was mine. Thank you very much. Ouch. Yeah. Counterpicking the game that I have. I'm really curious about that one. It's like a cooking sim with One Piece. Should be interesting.
It's just the counter picks are hard because like we have a lot of bangers.
Yeah.
And I've already counterpicked Marvel's Wolverine because I was counting on it not publishing this year. So I think
that
I
one's
might.
coming.
I think that might hit me in the mouth and
Yeah.
break a few teeth.
Yeah. So yeah, with that, I'm still sitting in third. Waiting on my big September stretch. Blood of the Dawnwalker could go either way. I mean, it's also, though people are curious and excited, been counterpicked a lot in the leagues across the Fantasy Critic. So who knows if that is going to be a win or a loss for me. Kat, you've got Beast of Reincarnation and Marvel Tokon coming next week. So yeah, by the time we come around next, we record again, you might have the lead. Over in the Community League, Joelle remains firmly in first with 112.7 points. And that she's got a 20-point lead. Joelle's running away to the bank with that one. Phoenix is coming in next at 92.9. Jessica Star is in third at 90.6. Offshore Meteor is in fourth, but has a massive projected points of 124.8. So we'll see if that all comes to pass. So you never know. Moving and shaking over there. Kat, you were the biggest mover this week. You jumped to 59.5 points thanks to Halo. And then you went shopping. You added Nintendo Switch, Sports, Resort, and Mortal Shell 2, and Revenge. I don't know that one.
Me neither. But I was like, that looks like the art is really nice. And I was like, sure. Yeah. I need to fill in my spots. So I need to coast for the rest of this.
Well,
league.
I mean, you made some aggressive moves in both leagues on pickups and counter picks and whatnot. So, there's not much time left in the year. There's not much more that can be announced to fit in this year. So, good on you. Phoenix won a very close bidding war for Darkest Dungeon, The Fire's Edge. He outbidded Darth Stridius $11 to 10. And then Pat counterpicked Kingdom Hearts 4, which feels like the Fantasy Critic version of saying, I'll believe it when I see it, which is probably not far off. We'll see if that actually comes out. For me in the Community League, my cozy game lineup continues as tomorrow, as of us recording this, because it comes out on August 5th, both Pokopia Bubbly Basin and Fields of Mistra come out. And I've been watching both of those. I've already went and downloaded and got ready to go for Pokopia. And Fields of Mistra, I'm really excited to play too. It's on PC, so I might just hold off until there's a Switch version of that. But that's been in early access for quite a long time. And I remember when it hit early access, a lot of people were raving about it. So I'm curious to see how it does full release. And I spent $18 on it. So I'm really hoping that it does well for me.
Same, girl, same.
Yeah. Looking ahead, so between what we mentioned on the podcast league, similar games are coming out in Community League, Beast of Reincarnation, Big Walk. Lots of people online reviewing Big Walk. Did you see that over the past few days?
Yeah, we were talking about Peak last time in Friend Swap games.
Yeah.
It's one of those with proximity chat, and it's not as chaotic as Peak, but it looks like stupid, silly fun, honestly.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, that's coming out. Fields of Mistra, like I said, Pokemon Pokopia Bubbly Basin, Restore, and Marvel Tokon. They're all coming. So Joelle continues to lead both leagues. Kat, you're hot on her heels in the podcast league, and the next few days could completely reshape the standings. So we will wait and see how that all pans out until next week. Kat, what are you playing?
I'm still puttering with Astrobot.
Okay.
I bought it.
Good on ya.
I took advantage and I brought back the disc at work so that I can take my time with it and find all the bots. Didn't have a lot of time to play it recently, but it is purchased and I will probably spend some time with it tomorrow.
Nice.
And this weekend before I go to Toronto. I'm hoping to get a lot of the main level done this week and then tackle the hard levels later.
Okay.
See if I can get all the little robots, all of them. I would like to.
All the bots.
Yeah, I haven't I've puttered about the new Galaxy a bit. I'm very curious to see what my next PlayStation robot and level is going to be, because so far, like the PlayStation, like those PlayStation levels, like the God of War and the Uncharted ones are two of my favorite levels ever. I was like, this is so good. This is so good. But yeah, so now I own it. So if my friend Uva comes home and she's like, I want to try this, I'm like, you can try it. I don't have to wait for the disc.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I think it's going to be a perfect vacation game to keep puttering about. It's also a good game to drop for a while and come back to, because summer is weird for me. It's like some weeks I'm out, I'm not home at all or out the door, always doing stuff. And then some weeks it's just like everybody fucked off camping and I'm alone at home for like a weekend. And I'm like, all right, guess I'm going to game.
Nice. I'm still playing Moonlight Peaks. Just continuing on in the story in that. And then, yeah, I booted up Pocopia and I can't remember how to play. Well, I can. I was like fumbling around and then I'm like, I don't remember how to suck things up. I'm like, I know I can do that. But yeah, I'm just, just trying to get my sea legs back in that game. I also kind of left it for a bit. So I'm going to have to do some time traveling because there was a bunch of special events with a hop kip. I think I got the hop kip, but then there was a Sableye one and I didn't do that. I also haven't done the complete Pokedex in that game yet, so gotta catch them all. And then, of course, there's a shit ton of other Pokemon coming. So, like, I've got stuff to do.
Get to
just
it.
got Pokemon on the brain.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Can't wait for the next game to come. All right, let's take a wee break, and we'll come back with some news stories. Summertime, summer news stories. Catherine, what do you got for us today?
Yeah, so PlayStation finally broke their silence. They did a follow-up on the discontinuation of PlayStation discs because they said it won't have any negative impact on its business now or in the future. Because apparently 82% digital download is the ratio for full game software across PS4 and PS5 compared to physical. So in an article on IGN, they got the quotes, essentially, speaking during an investor-focused Q&A following its first quarter financial results, Sony CFO Lin Tao answered multiple questions about the company's decision to kill discs, which has sparked backlash online. So because PlayStation Sony is a publicly traded game, they always have game company. They need to have these quarterly calls for earnings with the shareholders to keep them happy, and people get to ask questions, and some of them are of questionable quality. A lot of them are just to ask about, like, was this business decision good? And apparently people were asking about the discs. So the quote from Tao said, "We are not seeing any impact on our business as of now. Going forward, about the content sales, large part is already digitized. Therefore, as a result of the discontinuation of a disc, we don't see that there will be any negative impact on our business. However, as I already said, the players have attachments, and we have to think about how to respond to those feedbacks. Because right now it's a lot of PR backlash.
Yeah.
So they might not affect their financial that much, but the PR can have long-term negative effects." Yeah.
Are you surprised hearing that already 82% of the consumption of games is digitally downloaded?
I'm not surprised, considering with PlayStation Plus and how a lot of people turn their consumption of games to these subscription models.
Yeah. I also can't tell you, I know we talked about it when we did the episode on the Great Disappearing Act. Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I bought a physical game. So I get it, because it costs you money to go out to the store, buy something, bring it home, set it up, whatever. I just went and downloaded the DLC for Pokopia. I downloaded Pokopia. I download most games. I don't have any physical media anymore.
Yeah, I'm pro digital, I'm pro subscription and everything, but I'm not a collector. And I'm not one that replays games a lot. So the only reason I'm not doing like PlayStation Plus for Astro Bot and whatnot is just I have too many consoles. And at this point, the way I'm playing, I'm not playing a lot and I'm spending a lot of time with one game. It's actually better for me to just buy as I go or borrow as I go when I can. And I started to like look into other avenues, like borrowing games at work or borrowing games from the library or borrowing games from friends because, you know, like I got this disk drive, so might as well do it. But I understand that's like, for me, it works. Physical works in the way that I can borrow it because I'm not going to go back to it. And digital works because it's like, it's the instant gratification, but it's also like, if it disappears from my library disappears, I'm not going to mourn it. Because I've bought a lot of physical and digital games.
Yeah.
A lot of physical games. And eventually you do lose them.
Yeah.
A disc can rot. A
Yeah,
cartridge
they
can stop working.
Yeah.
Or it's like the console you played on. Like my PS3 is dead. So what do I do with all these PS3 discs?
Right.
So
here's an interesting stat that they have in this document. For first-party PlayStation games such as Last of Us, Sony will only keep about 65% of the money from a physical copy, with around 30% going to the retailer and roughly another 5% on manufacturing costs. Meanwhile, for a physical copy of a third-party game like Call of Duty, Sony will get a licensing fee, likely around 15%. So essentially, they're cutting out the 5% of the manufacturing costs, and they're kind of cutting out the reseller.
The retailer and the resellers. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, retailer. Yeah. That's the best way to do it. Because, like, you don't have to go into a store and buy it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But also not surprising. But still crazy.
Yeah.
That's how much,
And I'm wondering for retailers how much of their money shifted towards gift cards.
Maybe.
Like parents going in and buying, like, little V-Bucks Fortnite cards and
maybe
PlayStation Store cards, and those are, but also those are easy to defraud. Like a lot of people, there's a lot of fraud for those.
Yeah,
buy cards and then they're like empty or somebody stole it, spoofed it.
Well, Kat, I don't think this is going to change anytime soon. I think we're essentially going to see the end of physical media in the gaming world, and Sony's just putting the first nail in the coffin. I don't think they're going to change at all. This industry that we're in continues, and this hobby continues to get to be more and more expensive all the time. And I know the next two stories essentially are reiterating that again. Reiterating that again. Yeah.
So Xbox had done a price hike for consoles in the US, and then they announced a global price hike, I think, end of July. And now we have the prices for the United States, Europe, and Australia. I tried to find the Canadian prices. I could not find them. I'm guessing they're going to be like, take the US price at about $100 or $150.
Yeah.
But the Xbox Series X 1 terabyte is in the US is going up to $800 from $650. In Europe, it's £670 pounds. Up to 500, up from 500, and then 800 euros, previously 600 euros, and then Australian dollars, 1,100, up from $850.
Crazy.
That is substantial hikes.
$150 on the US side.
Yep.
170 pounds.
Yeah, so that's for the Xbox Series X one.
No, hold on. 506. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. So the Australian one hurts a lot.
Well, I mean, it kind of looks like what ours is going to be.
Yeah, and that's for the Xbox Series X 1 terabyte, the most expensive consoles. If we look at the one, like the least expensive, the Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S. God damn, this is so. Xbox, find a better naming convention, please.
Series S,
thank you.
512 gigabyte.
Exactly. So that one was $400 US. It's going up to $500.
Woof.
It was £300. It's going to £430. It was 350 euros. It's going to 500 euros. And it was 550 Australian dollars, and it's going up to 700.
Dang.
So, yeah. And those are they as of now?
Hold on.
Take effect on August 1st. So yeah, if you didn't buy a console before that, you're
too late. Sorry, we didn't have this story for you before then. I mean, the story came out on August 3rd, so it was already done.
Yeah, I mean, they announced it in July, so I think a lot of people that wanted to buy it, they should have bought it by then. But it's like, honestly, like, it's between 20. The article says between 23 and 34% increase for Xbox Series X console, with the most significant increase with the Xbox Series S 1 terabyte consoles for Europe, which jumps 50% in price.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it is a significant price. And again, because of memory prices.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that's like the next story that we've got from Rock Paper Shotgun, essentially talking about AMD graphics card price hikes, reporting following NVIDIA's as the AI-fueled RAM shortage continues to set wallets alight.
Yeah, so it's not a matter of if they're going to jack the prices, it's a matter of when they're going to jack the prices.
Yeah.
So there's a report by a self-described Korean PC tech fan, Harukase5719, who's previously been on the money about prices of RTX 5060 Ti versions. AMD are pushing up how much they charge their partners for cards by 10%.
Woof.
Citing anonymous sources in AMD's internal supply chain, the report suggests the company basically waited to pull the trigger on their hikes until competitor NVIDIA had set in motion their own graphics card price hike of up to 30%. The latter was reported by Taiwan's Economic Daily News last week. The resulting effect on consumers depends on how much of the hike the company decides to eat themselves. But pending such acts of selfless altruism, two brands of cards, which cost a chunk more than they used to, looks like the reality we're set for. And that's on Twitter.
I'm so happy we bought Micah's gaming PC when we did.
Essentially, like, if you want something, buy it now.
Computer-wise, which I mean is essentially everything.
But
everybody has
phones as well. Like, I was chit-chatting with my bestie over poutine about how, like, my phone's going to be 5 years old, and you know, I'm on the lookout for battery issues, spicy batteries, but also like the end of life where I'm going to stop getting Google updates.
Yes, that is something you really like. I'm on the cusp of that right now with my iPad because it's a 2019 iPad.
Yeah,
it's slow. But is it going to just stop at some point where it won't take the updates? And that's when I'm really going to be like, it's time to upgrade.
Yeah, my 29. I also have a iPad Pro, I think 2019.
No, I have an Air.
Yeah. But essentially the Pixel phones, Google promised 5 years of support. And so, you know, I was looking, I'm like, maybe I want like the clamshell phones. Maybe I want the Motorola Razr, or like Samsung announced their new foldables, like the Flip 8. $1,000.
Gotta pay for that screen hinge, man.
And like, I was looking, it was like, it was $1,200 for like the Z Flip 8, which is like not out of like the three phones, it's like the most basic one. It's the cheapest one. And like, if I wanted, and that's for the 256 gigabyte model. If I wanted the 512, it starts at like $1,500. I was like, damn. My next phone is going to be almost $2,000.
Crazy.
And they were like, we have a trade-in. We accept Pixel phone. They stop at the Pixel 7a.
Yeah. Seriously.
I'm like, unless I buy another Pixel, nobody's going to take my Pixel as a trade-in.
Yeah.
And I looked to what I could trade it in, like on the Pixel site.
Yeah.
With Google. I was like, we'll give you $20. I was like, cool, thanks. Jesus Christ, I might as well just keep it as a backup and just check to see if the batteries doesn't get spicy. But
yeah,
all of this is so expensive. And to go back to finish with my last story, which is tomorrow. There's a Nintendo Direct for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, where it reminded me that I need to buy a Switch 2.
I was about to say, let's end this on a happy note, but then I forgot. You don't have a Switch 2 yet.
I gotta buy this bitch.
I mean,
and
Kat,
I'm just
you
like
get a phone and a couch and a Switch 2.
Yes, the couch is falling apart, but I'm like, you know what? You're the least pressing of my problems somehow.
There are no, last time I checked, you do not need to buy RAM for or any technology thing in a couch unless it's one of those ones with the motorized gizmos in it so that it'll like help lift you out of it or something.
But I mean,
I don't think that's what you're looking for.
No, I mean, with inflation, couches are up to be like almost $1,000 nowadays. Like even the shitty ones from IKEA. Like
yeah.
So anyway, tomorrow I'm gonna watch the Fortune's Weave Direct and be all hyped and be like, I gotta buy a Switch 2. And then at night, I have a friend from work. She said she would go with me to like just took to near here to be like, all right, let's go look at couches so I can sit in them and figure out like which couch is best for my shitty back.
Yeah.
Because they're all too deep or too big. But I told her like, I don't have the money for it now, but we can look at stuff and you're really good at this. So I will take some notes and maybe I will order the couch more like in September. But now I'm just like, maybe I'll order the couch in October because apparently I'm buying a Switch 2.
Yeah. I mean, like there might be deals around Black Friday. So if you can wait that long.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have to play Fortune's Weave as soon as it comes out.
No, I'm talking about the couch, not the video game.
Sorry. I forgot which podcast I'm on. Sorry.
No, you buy the video game now. You wait on the thing to sit on to play the video game.
I mean, a Switch can be played anywhere. I don't have to be on the couch.
Truth. Play it in bed. I was doing that yesterday. Yeah.
It's just the cost of electronics have like, just because of this AI bubble that needs to burst. I'm like, it's not, it's a great tool. It's a great technology, but it is not as useful as you thought it was going to be. And you need to.
Phil DeFranco had a video he put out today, I want to say. Hold on now. Let me see. Where did I watch it? It was always talking about the AI stuff. It might not have been on this channel. Now I got to go back and look. I need to look at my history because it was talking about the. Here we go. Yeah, it's on DeFranco News Clips. The article or the video is called "Is NVIDIA Doing What Destroyed Cisco in 2000?" And you watch it through. For those that are not familiar with Cisco, essentially during the .com boom, they essentially like gave loans and stuff to companies to use their stuff, and then so they were accounting for the sales that they. It's kind of funny money. It's not real money coming through because it was kind of like a loan, but then the .com bubble hit and then those companies went under. And then of course, Cisco had like an 80% loss because it had funded all this stuff, but then the money didn't actually come into their bank accounts, you know? Yeah. So they were claiming it had, but nothing had actually transferred. And so now NVIDIA is essentially doing something kind of similar with OpenAI and what's the other one? Something with an A too. Anyways, they were talking, he was even talking about in the clip about Microsoft and stuff too, and how it's like the same kind of thing where it's like, we're giving you rebates or like deferred loans or whatever else so that you can use the tool. And then like, they're like, okay. And then when we make tons of money, we'll pay you back for that. But if one of the dominoes fall in that chain, everything comes crashing down. So, yeah, I'll put the link in our notes so that if anybody wants to go and check it out, but it's just interesting to kind of see because I didn't really know the story too much of Cisco before I watched that. Like I knew of the company, I remember seeing it, and then I remembered it had, you know, kind of fallen off. But yeah, interesting thing to kind of look back on and see, like, is the AI boom essentially just
like the .com boom?
.com boom, we're reliving it again?
Because, like, I'm seeing it at work, you know, like how they got, like, some trials and stuff to try stuff like, you know, Cloud Code and shit like that and Microsoft Copilot tokens and whatever. And And at first it was just like, yeah, fucking blow the tokens. We got infinite. And it quickly went to like, okay, we're reducing the number of seats that can have it. You need to lower the tokens, justify your tokens. I'm just like, they started charging us, didn't they? I'm like, and their prices just exploded. Especially like for shit like Cloud Code. And I saw articles of somebody being like, oh yeah, I think Google made an AI that can do like a website completely. Now my phone is listening to me. No, thank you.
They're listening, Catherine.
Yeah. Essentially, or was it with Figma or something like that? Somebody made an AI to generate a whole website, like a homepage. And the person said, I ran out of tokens before I could finish what I needed to do.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because apparently, like, all of these AI tools will get you started with a good foundation, but then when it comes to tweaking and getting what you really want, then that's like how you burn tokens. And if you get like 5 or 10 a day, it's not enough. So I'm like, all right, so it's essentially like buying an Envato template and then having to code the rest yourself.
Yeah. But even at least the Envato template, you can get it up and get it running and then kind of mess around with it. It sounds like it doesn't even get you the full way there.
As long as you can download like the code base or whatever, like once they kind of like generate your HTML homepage, and you can grab it and you have like the CSS files and the JavaScript files and the HTML files, like you can, you can look into it. But apparently also digging into that code, it is...
Well, that's the thing.
Coded.
It's not easy to go in and try and rewrite somebody else's code, and hopefully they've commented it nicely and you understand all the different plugins and stuff that's interconnected in order for it to be set up, because that's a lot of thing with these WordPress sites. They're all based in like that object-oriented kind of programming languages where you have like umpteen different files all interconnected and trying to figure out which piece fixes what. And then you have like the code and then you have the CSS on the side and you're just trying to figure out, I just want to change this font's color, and you cannot figure it out for the life of you. It's you need to understand how to code these things. So it sounds like it's not really removing the people that used to do that.
No, apparently a lot of my friends that still work in web, whether it's web design or web integrations, a lot of their work now is just fixing stuff that AI couldn't deliver. Or, I guess, it sounds like they're just algorithms.
Yep.
And they're good when they do algorithmic work. And it's funny for me because, like, just to wrap this up, we talk about AI, we think about, like LLMs and chatbots and whatever.
Yeah.
I work at a video game company. We've had AI programmers for a while. And what do they program? Fucking NPCs. If you're an AI programmer, you're working on NPCs. You're working on anything that's non-playable, and it's all algorithmic work. And it's exactly the same. It's a lot of like these chatbots, they just connected a language model and they connected it to like whatever algorithmic work they had with Amazon or Google to give you like ad ideas and whatever, and now they just connected to a chatbot. So when you talk to a chatbot, it can help you shop for shit. But they're connected to the same algorithm that's been feeding you ads for like the past like 5 or 6 years. So it's for me, like it's wild. It's just like such a marketing campaign on adding a new layer in front of tech that's been there for a while. And I'm just like, is everybody insane? It's just like, we've had this shit for years. It's just now that they connected to like a chatbot that you can type in and ask it questions. You're like, it's so brand new. I'm like, no, it's not. It's just more convenient, I guess.
It's a tool. But it's not the be all end all. It's not going to find all the solutions. It's just another tool in your arsenal of things to use, like a switchblade.
And people went at it too fast, too quick, and they thought the demand would follow, and it did not. And we're seeing the same shit as the .com boom, the .com bubble, and the great crash before the Great Depression and everything. It's just like people thinking infinite growth. the population's going to follow, and it's just like, we can't afford shit.
Mm.
And then it crashes. So hopefully we have another year or two. Then a year or two, a lot of these prices will stabilize.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
And I will get a phone for not $2,000.
I don't know about that. They might plateau, hit a spot, and then might not move for a while, but I don't think they're going back down.
I don't think so either. But
We're stuck
I will
here
get
now.
my flippity clacky clack phone
Okay.
that can close down and fit in my front pocket.
So you can just snap it in your face.
I can be like in the early 2000s and just hang up by clapping your phone.
I think I still have my pink Motorola Razr somewhere in this house. And I'm pretty sure the ringtone that I had on was play that funky music, white boy.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was my ringtone. Yeah. All right, enough of that. Let's close this show. As always, check out the show notes on girlsongames.ca for links to all the stories mentioned in this episode. And we will throw in that Deep Pocket Monster video and that Phil DeFranco one that you should check out. As always, if you can, rate and review this podcast. Why? Helps with discovery, pushes us up in the rankings, and any comments you leave help us build our show. This is the moment where I ask the folks joining me around this digital table to shout out their social media handles so you can follow them anywhere and everywhere online. Kat, where can people find you?
I am CSDSBINS on Instagram and Blue Sky. I did post photos of my cupcakes, by the way, so you can look at them and be jealous.
Yeah, I was jealous. I'm like, where's mine? I am Leah Jewer on most social media platforms, but of course you want to know everything there is to know about Girls on Games. You can track us down at The Girls on Games on X and Facebook. Just Girls on Games, no the in there on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. Discord.me/Girls on Games to continue this conversation and more. But of course, if you ever need to know anything at all, you can track it down at our home base. That's our website, girlsongames.ca. Thank you, Kat. It's been another lovely week in video games. And I think I'm gonna go and try and remember the controls in Pokepia, so I'm good to go for tomorrow.
Nice.
Until next time, everybody. Bye.
Bye.